Hi everyone! Hello and welcome to another episode of DETV. Hello BB Dub, hello Decoy W, hello Mr. Ghost. Thank you for joining me. Today we have a ton to talk about, so we'll just dive into it. I've been gone for 2 weeks, that's why. Hello Legendaric. Alright, so first off, 2 weeks ago, not yesterday's newsletter, but the newsletter from a week ago, we announced a brand new dice set. Yay! And it's a metal set. Look how pretty. Oh my gosh. This is Warp Speed Delta. This is a metal set that is modeled after our Alpha and Omega polymer sets. It's beautiful. Hello, Jay Maloney. I don't have enough good things to say about this set. It's amazing. It feels great in the hands. Dylan did the original design, the Alpha and the Omega designs, way back in the day. They're like one of our oldest designs. And then he converted it over to metal. And I don't even know how we landed on this teal and silver. I think maybe because we were doing the sub box around like Christmas time or the winter time. And it just so happened to come out like very retro, very cool. I'm a huge fan of Warp Speed Delta. So let's take a closer look. Dun, dun, dun. Maria also wrote some awesome copy for it, as always. And let's just, can you hear this? Sounds so good. These specifically, I don't know if it's like the amount of metal that got taken out to, do the mold, like, compared to other molds, or what, but these just feel so good. Let's go ahead and give these a roll. Yay! A 4! Custom, completely original Dice Envy metal D4. It's like a shiny silver and a matte teal, which gives it this really cool retro future Jetsons, I don't know, Ray Bradbury vibe with the starburst design across all the dice. It's so nice. So nice. I am in love with this set. I'm so in love with this set that this is actually the first set that I've posted on Reddit, on R Dice, which exists, by the way. There's a subreddit called R Dice. And I've just been lurking there forever because, I just want to see what the dice community on Reddit is up to. And I always thought, like, oh, it would be really bad form to, like, showcase our dice there. But with these, I could not resist. So our first ever, like, hey, look what we did post went up last week. And obviously had great, people had great things to say about it. Oh my goodness. So cool. I can't get over these. These are definitely like top 10 dice sets of all time from us. So nice. Ugh, so pretty. And actually the color, you can kind of see a color difference in the two cameras here. I want to say it actually hits about in between. So it's a matte teal, but it's not as bright teal as the little camera is showing, and it's not as like pure blue as this. If you go to the website and you take a look at the pictures, those are all color corrected and correct. So definitely take a gander. Oh, and the Caltrop, which usually I'm like, whatever, Caltrop. We have infinities. They're better. But this one specifically, the way that the starburst landed on the 4 is just so cool. So I really like, this might be my favorite Caltrop that we've done, period. But yeah, these came out great on the little starburst there at the bottom. Very proud of these. I should say I'm proud of Dylan for making these. But yeah, he did an excellent job. Warp Speed Delta is the set. And let's hop back onto the newsletter from last week. Let's see, what else did we do? We had a code which is no longer viable. Apologies. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter if you want those every week. And then, we did Nice Job DM. And can I just say, like, no, sorry, scratch that. Nice Job DM with a detective. So somebody wrote saying, I'm not sure if my job would be a good fit for Nice Job DM. And then they said they were a detective. And I was like, this is the second coolest job we've ever had on Nice Job DM. Aside from like paleontologists, which like who can beat dinosaurs? But so yeah, we did Nice Job DM interview with a real life detective, which is super cool. They didn't send in a picture, so that's why I have this stock imagery of Cluedo dice. But yeah, we have that interview also now on the blog on the site. So if you want to hop over there, you can read the whole thing if you didn't get in the newsletter. But it's very cool. Obviously, Detective is so cool. And we got some helpful feedback actually from this Nice Job DM with someone suggesting some new questions we should ask. So that's super cool. I'm definitely going to be incorporating some new questions. I think we've been doing Nice Job DM for about a year now, so it's a good time to start refreshing things. And that being said, Nice Job DM is in search of more DMs with cool jobs. So if any of you know anybody who might be a good fit, please send them my way. I really want to talk to more cool people with cool jobs who also DM and ask them more about their DMing and what they're into, what they do at the table. So definitely send them my way, rach@diceenvy.com or hello@diceenvy.com, either way. All right, moving along. That brings us to yesterday's newsletter. Did anyone, I just want to interject real quick. Did anyone watch let me know in chat if you watched the Critical Role Dragonheart announcement that was on Twitch earlier today. I got to see like the first 45 minutes or so, and it looks so cool. And it reminded me that last Advent calendar, we actually included 2D12s in the spirit of Dragonheart. And so we're really excited. Sorry, Daggerheart. Thank you, Maria. So we're really excited to see it finally getting released, and they're going to do actual play on, or streaming on, I think it's on Twitch also, which I'm looking forward to seeing some of. So the artwork in that book is insane. They went over a lot of the artwork during the stream today. I'm sure it's recorded maybe on YouTube somewhere. It is gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. So if I had like expendable cash right now, I would definitely be getting a copy. So yeah, that's very exciting. And a good reminder that you can always get individual D12s in our Buy by the Die category on the website if you need those for your new Daggerheart adventures. All right, so yesterday we launched a sale. Some of you might remember this from last year. It's our starter set sale. It is 7-piece sets, deeply discounted, $5 a set, super, super affordable. And we are running this sale basically for a limited time or until we run out. We're kind of waiting to see which happens first. But they are going like hotcakes, just like last year. And make sure to get your hands on those if you haven't already. And let me just show you a couple of examples of what a starter set might look like. These are mystery starter sets, so if you order them, it's $5 each, but you don't know what you're getting. So here's one set. Oh, so pretty, so blue, gorgeous, glittery, sparkly. You can see the sparkle, shimmer in there. Gorgeous. Let's see, here's another set. Whoop. This one's more of like a layered swirl deal. Pinks and reds, very pretty, bright white ink. So yeah, these are simple, straightforward 7-piece sets, but we have them in over 30 varieties 30 new varieties we got in this year. So there's a ton to choose from. So that being said, like if you order 31, you might get a duplicate. So, just use some caution. But yeah, here's a swirly pink, still pretty. But yeah, great opportunity for you to build up your library of dice and add some variety there. Also, if you're a DM yourself and you have players and you're like, I want to get all my players brand new dice for the new campaign that we're starting, then this is the perfect opportunity to load up and put dice in all of your players' hands for not that much money. So that is a sale we have going on right now. It's just a markdown sale, so you don't have to worry about codes or anything like that. Decoy DW says, love they're actually making D12s useful. Yes, Decoy DW. Going back to Daggerheart, the system is I think it's Hope and Fear, I believe, are the two D12s represent. So that's very cool. And they're selling their own D12 dice specifically for the, campaign too, which is great. But they have a new, not a new, but a more I think they described it as rhombus shape, so it looks more like a jewel. And I don't know the logistics of how random that rolls, but I did really appreciate hearing about one of the reasons that they went with 2D12s is it makes it so that 13 is the most likely result you're going to get, and everything else is sort of like bell curve toward that, which means you like have like a more stable base of like middle range results, which means that things like your modifiers will have more of an effect from roll to roll. And I basically, what I understand based on today's stream and what we've read online is that it's supposed to be like more of a cinematic feel, which a lot of other TTRPGs do, but they're also going in that same vein. So very cool. I'm very excited. I really want to see. I haven't actually watched any like of the live Critical Role streams yet, so I'm like making a special note for myself to tune into this one, because the world looks exciting, the system sounds cool, so I am definitely looking forward to that. All right, so those are our starter sets. I'll just give you another look at this GIF that I put together. It's like not very easy to put together a GIF. It's just not something I have to do very often, so I had to like figure out how to do it in Photoshop and like set it on a timeline and all that stuff, so I'm pretty proud of that. And then let's see, I think, let me scroll here and go down. Yeah, 30 fresh styles, only $4.99 each. Yay! And then big group photo there. All right, and then so yesterday in the newsletter, Maria says, and so many of the ancestries in Daggerheart are so rage-coded. And I can tell that right away after looking at some of the artwork that they were talking about. There's like little frog guys. There's little like cute little girls casting spells. There's like a giant three-eyed stag on one of the artworks, which looks incredible. But yeah, it definitely looks very rage-coded. And it's very cute looking. All right, so, before we get into this, actually, I want to go ahead and announce the bonus dice code. I'm going to spend a little bit time rambling in a second about this thing that we all sort of as a team worked out. So if you have to go soon or you can't make it through the rest of the stream, I want to go ahead and give you that bonus dice code. And it is a code that if you put a starter set in your next order, then and the order is over $10, then you will get that starter set for free. So both your order has to go in alongside at least one starter set. And if you use the code DETV rules, because I'm very clever, very original, and I will put that in the chat, then if you use that code, it will give you 100% off your starter dice set, your mystery starter set, as long as your order, like I said, is above $10 total. So basically you can translate that into a, buy one or buy two, get one free, if you just want to do starter sets, or, add it on top of anything else. So that's just for you guys, only for the chat here, or, and our lurkers. And then if anybody happens to look up the video on YouTube later, they'll also get that. And that's going to run until the beginning of our next stream next week. So until next Tuesday at 3 p.m., that will be good. After that, you'll be too late. All right, so going back, so here's the part where we ramble a little bit. And that's because we spent a lot of time recently. We've gone over this before. The whole tariff situation has inspired a lot of discussion in the office about raising prices, which apparently we realized hadn't really been doing year over year anyway. So we had to catch up with inflation and then also pivot really hard price-wise when this whole tariff thing happened. Some slightly better news is recently that tariff situation it's not gone, but it has been reduced significantly, at least for a period. I think the period is 3 months. There's like a 3-month pause on the insanely high tariffs. And so we just have normally high tariffs to deal with now, which if any of you have been watching the prices on our website, you've noticed there was like a huge jump, unfortunately, for a lot of our products. And then after the announcement that the tariffs were, at least for the next 3 months, ideally, going to be a little bit reduced, we were able to come down a little bit on those prices. Any of you who are subscribers, you've all got an email saying, hey, I'm really sorry, but we have to hike the prices up because of these tariffs. And you guys will be receiving another email, I think it's June 1st, like the start of next month, with a slight reduction in that increase, which is wonderful. We're really happy that we're able to do that and sort of be flexible throughout this honestly chaotic time. But all that being said, so there was an up, there was a down, and now this caused us all to pay special attention to what other dice companies are doing, what other retailers are doing, e-commerce retailers, and just take an honest look at our product, what it costs us to get it in, what it costs to make it, and the value that is associated with each product. And figure out the sweet spot where it's like we can stay in business, but we're not becoming crazy expensive for our lovely customers. So all that being said, it inspired a conversation about what makes us unique. And I know that I mentioned this a couple times the last few streams, but we found out that we're pretty sure are the only dice subscription box sending out original dice sets. And then that was like, okay, well, that's something we should advertise, we should talk about. But then it's like, well, what does that mean? So I, on the newsletter yesterday, tried to do a little summary, basically, of the three tiers of categories of dice and accessories that we sell. And I will preface this by stating this is going to be a ramble for a reason, and it's because those lines between the three tiers can get a little foggy, but we'll get into that. We'll go tier by tier here, and I will try to keep it short and sweet, but I do want to share with you guys where our head's at when we're deciding how to price things and how to separate ourselves from the crowd, essentially. All right, so I'm going to pull the newsletter back up here. And we started off by asking what the exclamation point is a starter set anyway. Starter set is the name that we gave our standard 7-piece sets when we put them on sale last year. We were like, well, these aren't your average Dice Envy dice. These are a little bit more basic, a little bit more simple, and essentially is a standard 7-piece set, or our starter sets. So the category that we're putting those into, this new category we've tried to give good and descriptive names to, is standard dice. So standard dice are, if you think like old school, it's like what, the 70s or something, and you're playing D&D, and there's now all these like funky shaped dice that you have to play with, the polyhedral dice set, 7-piece set. Everyone's very familiar with what those 7 pieces are. That just pure 7-piece set, no special customization. It's basically like the manufacturers make them, they make a ton of them, and that is what you can purchase. They're always going to be your more affordable sets because there's not a lot of extra special stuff being done with them. And I have an example. Of course I do, because my office is actually mostly just dice. So here's an example, I'll roll it out here, of a 7-piece set, a standard 7-piece set. Everyone's already familiar with all the shapes, like I said, but something unique that gets a little harder to navigate is that this standard 7-piece set, mass produced, has this cool design on it. So someone at some point put some thought into this. It's not just numbers, but the difference here that we're trying to illuminate is that we ourselves, so this is an example of a starter set, which is a standard set. We ourselves didn't put any design work into this set. So we got this design ordered from our manufacturer, we got it shipped in, and now we're selling them to you guys as one of our most affordable dice sets. We don't have a lot of these on our site. This is a way that we try to keep ourselves separate. Not because we don't like them, they're gorgeous, but ever since everyone has gotten hired at Dice Envy, the main goal from David, the founder, all the way to Joni, our most recent edition, has been, hey, I want to make cool dice. So this is awesome. It's a very pretty set, like marbled red with gold ink, but it's not ours. We didn't get to like come up with it, you know? So that's why it's a standard set. Another example of standard sets that you'll find on our site is our Pipsqueaks. So these are real basic. They're just pip dice. They're D6s. We made them to fill out our wargaming category. Da-da-da. But, you know, there's not a lot of like customizing going on when we get these little pip dice in. I mean, pips are like, that's like your most classic of classic die, right? So, you know, we didn't invent the pip, so it's not ours, so it's a standard set. Okay, so that's standard. It's just like, just the bare necessities. It's the foundational level of everything you need to play games, board games, D&D, etc. And that brings us to our next category. Oh, I have examples here. Oh, pounds are on there because it is totally possible if you buy a pound of dice that you will find some standard dice in there. That is because we often get samples sent to us. We get leftovers from old, like this starter set sale that we have going on right now. If we have leftover sets from that, those will eventually find their way into pounds. Joni pays really good attention. She tries to mix as few like per bag as possible, but you know, every once in a while there's like an awesome, you know, marbled red dice set that she's like, yeah, this deserves to be in pounds. So that's why pounds is on there. Our next category, signature dice. Oh, Maria adds, some folks call them generics. Yes. So if you see them on other sites, that's a good point. A standard dice set, the way that you'll know it's standard is if you see the same dice set on another site. So if you happen to, you know, run into this guy on another site, you know it's standard, generic, straightforward, 7-piece set. So speaking of other websites, signature dice is what we've decided to call the next tier. Signature dice are dice that have been at least partially designed by whoever is placing the orders with manufacturers. So in that case, it's us, or in this case, it's us. And this is where you will see companies try to separate out their dice from the rest of the crowd. So one of the ways, I'll go ahead and roll a signature set for you guys. All of our 10-piece sets are signature sets, except for the ones that are originals, but we'll get into that in a second. But the majority of our 10-piece polymer sets are like Strange and Unusual, which is right here, are signature sets. And what makes them signature is guys like this. It's a Tronky Do 20, and we include it with every 10-piece set, making it our signature addition, basically, making it from a 7-piece set into a 10-piece set. And if you'll see here on our logo D6, we include 2 D6s in every 10-piece set. This one's got our logo on it, so that's a signature move by us. Also, and the easiest way to tell is the 4s. We use our own signature font as well for all of these sets. Yeah, the 4s are the easiest way. I can always tell if I'm looking at the 4s of other dice sets. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's us, or that's not us. Especially with like older sets that we put out a long time ago. Dylan came up with the font ages and ages ago, so we've been using this forever. So it's a really good indicator. And then of course, this is where the lines start to get a little gray. This is a signature addition to our 10-piece sets, but we made this Infinity D4 from the ground up. We've designed the shape of it and everything. I'm pretty sure we still hold a patent on it. So this is a little bit more signature than signature because it's something that nobody else does. But it's part of what we would consider our signature 10-piece sets. And to that point, not just our polymers are signature, we also have signature metal sets. And I've got one here. I don't want to tilt it too far because I don't want it to fall. But here is a metal set with a big band of enamel, glitter enamel running through it. We call this one Rainbow Rebellion. And it's neochrome metal, white ink, very easy to read, but has this awesome band of what did I say? Glitter enamel running through it, purple glitter enamel. We roll these. So you can take a look. And this is another example. So the fact that it's a metal set doesn't make it unique. The fact that it has a band of glitter enamel running through it doesn't make it unique, because there are other companies selling the same style of dice. But how we make it a signature set for us and try to set ourselves apart is, once again, that custom font that belongs to us, and this has been pretty fun the last couple of years. We've tried to do this for all of our metal sets, including another Infinity D4, just to set ourselves apart. So Dylan, actually, this is kind of fun. He will take a set that exists elsewhere, like this thick banded glitter enamel set, and he'll translate that into a Infinity D4, which means he actually has to come up with these like from scratch, because it's our shape, right? So this is a very Dice Envy unique item that's included in these signature metal Dice Envy sets. So the fact that we have 8-piece sets is another way that we just try to set ourselves out, or stand out from the crowd. This is like a lot. I appreciate everyone who's still here. All right, so that is signature, and you can think of it like, I'm pretty sure, I think it's Kraken dice have like a 2-sided like polymer, like, do they call it a D2? But it's a coin, with a heads and a tails. That's a good example of another company adding their signature. I'm pretty sure Die Hard Dice has their own font as well. Most of the companies have their own font that they use, and you can start to pick out, which ones are specific to that company based on the font they used and the shapes that they include. Okay, let's keep going. There's one more tier. Let's get to the last tier. This is where this is what we take the most pride in, and also what we have the most fun making, because, like I said, we're all just dice goblins who just want to make cool dice. This is our original dice category. So original dice, we've designed either the mold for the polymer dice set. I mentioned earlier, I think all of our 10-piece sets were signature sets. Some of them actually I'm throwing into the category of original set, because we have a coffee cup mold. Some of you might be familiar with our pumpkin dice latte, our Java elemental, or our caramel cortados for bad kids, I think it is. Those are, the mold on those is very, very different. We were like, we want coffee dice, and we want them to be in polymer so that we can do cool coffee effects with them. It's metal coffee dice, maybe one day, but it doesn't really translate. I did not pull an example out right now, but we do have a coffee mold, so that's like an example of a 10-piece set that is actually an original set, not a signature set. So you guys are all very familiar, because I get excited about every time we come out with an original set. Here's a good example. Most of our newest metal sets are all original sets, because we got very excited in the planning stage of last year for this year, and we've just been putting out new metal molds all the time. So this is our Cruel Observer set. I designed it in Illustrator. I made all the, even the little dots and stuff. We did it in Illustrator, and then Dylan brought it over in the program that he uses to do metal mold modeling. And, he makes sure basically that it will function as a metal set, which is awesome. But yeah, this is another good example. This is a good example of an original set from Dice Envy. You can't get these anywhere. You can't get these not beholder dice anywhere else. And if you do see them anywhere else, please let us know, because Maria will have to go yell at somebody for it. But yeah, so again, we do include our Infinity D4, because we love our Infinity D4. But yeah, this is 100% from start to finish, our design decisions, our design, literal designing of the shapes and stuff involved. So very exciting. Here's another good example. We love Infinity D4s, as I mentioned. Here's a Chonkfinity D4. This one's called Snowfall. And we were like, we want Chonkfinity. I don't even know. I think we were like, what happens if we make our infinities big? And this happened. And we were like, that's huge. We love it. This is great because it's got big surfaces. So we were able to put like actual individual snowflakes on it. This one's called Snowfall. And then there's another like Halloween-y set that we did that was Boo-finities. Another great part about making infinity dice is that you get to make up silly pun names with affinity. So we actually have for example, a Beerfinity designed. We haven't put it out yet, but hopefully one day it will come. But yeah, so fully custom. Oh, and I just happen to have my bag from the last time I played D&D with Maria. I had pulled all of my favorite dice for my kobold character, put them in one of our little red bags, because she's a kobold, and I happened to only grab original dice to roll with that day. So another good example of, you can see how much we love them. Da-da-da. So these, we don't have these for sale, and I'm so sorry, and I love these so much, but they're not in stock right now, but hopefully eventually they will be again. But this is Bifrosting. That sigil design that you see on there is Dylan's handiwork. He did that all by himself, and it's just really cool. A chunk to go with it, very nice. And just give you another little glimpse here at these. They're so pretty. These are, well, I remember I said top 10, this is like top 3 for sure. And then another good example is our little kobold, 3 kobolds in a winter coat set, custom set. These are available on the website that we came up with. So this is like, normally if we had, just 2 extra D6, I'd be like, oh yeah, that's a signature set because, we just added dice shapes. But in this case, we also added, we had a full-on illustration of all the high sides that equates to 3 kobolds in a winter coat. So these are custom, original, exclusive, those kinds of words were the things we were toying with, and we landed on original. Yeah, so these are great. This one is Wild Shape Dice, another one that we did a little while ago, also out of stock, but one of my favorites. Yeah, so hopefully that adds some clarity. I will say for the original dice, which we're very proud of, I went through, spent a good amount of time going through and tagging the first picture on all of our original dice that are available on the site. Hopefully I didn't miss any, but we'll see. So from now on, we will be tagging all of our Dice Envy original sets on the website with this little blue, it's kind of hard to see it now that there's like dice around it, but there's a little blue tag there in the corner. It'll say Dice Envy Original, and that's how you can tell. Hopefully I didn't just miss some of those, but if I notice them, I'll tag them. But yeah, I don't know. We just wanted to, we wanted to pat ourselves on the back a little bit. We offer way more original dice, like ground up dice, than a lot of other people. And we didn't really notice that until, like I said, we dug in for looking at pricing and comparatively like what's out there. And then we were like, oh, we spend a lot of time making dice like from scratch. So yeah, that's all we wanted to share. And these categories don't only help the customer, but also us keep track of, sort of like how much every category we're doing. Our hope is to keep bringing you original dice as much as we can because they're the coolest. And, our signature 10-piece sets will never go away. And we are also going to be bringing in a little bit more of the standard dice sets because with the world the way it is today, we know that everybody needs more affordable options out there too. So in order to cover all our bases, we're trying really hard to stay in all of these markets and all of these categories. So, yeah, we have high hopes though. We're very optimistic. I am really sorry if I missed anything major in the chat. I just like rambled on for the last 10 minutes. The Nantam, welcome by the way, had to get the coffee dice, they say. Yeah, our coffee dice are great. Our little coffee mold. Dave came up with that idea, our founder. He's like, this was 3 years ago. we're like talking about, I think it was the same time we were doing wild shape dice, so I'm like doing cool animals and like, cool effects, and all the wild shape dice had like a transition effect where like you're human but now you're animal. So I'm like really deep in this, and then I get a call one day and he's like, hey Rach, this was back when I was just freelancing doing artwork. He's like, hey Rach, what about coffee dice? And I was like, David, what do you mean by that? But we made a cute coffee dice mold, and we've used it a handful of times now. We will keep using it. It's adorable. But yeah, stuff like that. We'll always try to come up with fun stuff to set ourselves apart. Three Goblins. Oh, we all miss and love. I'm very hopeful that we'll eventually be able to bring those back. The Three Goblins ended up being like a manufacturing nightmare because they were like engraved, and it's really long and boring, but essentially we had to pivot, and this is our pivot. So we pivoted to Three Kobolds, and they came out great. They were very successful. So the hope is that soon we'll be able to bring back Three Goblins as well, but probably in a different colorway. But anyway, I love Three Goblins too. I have a set of my own that no one's else allowed to have because it's like, I think, the only remaining set with the company. So, Nantam, you have a question. Any chance you can add a filter or collection on your website of dice that are UV reactive or glow in the dark? We would, except for I'm pretty sure we don't currently have any in stock. I know that Poison Cloud was one. And I think that might have been it for a long time. I think we might have had like a Sharp Edge that was UV reactive a few years ago. But yeah, Nantam, if we ever do get more of those in, and with the expansion into more standard dice, that might actually end up happening, we will definitely categorize stuff. Sometimes I go a little crazy and I'm like, oh yeah, we need a category for that thing, and there's like 2 of those things. So I'm like, that doesn't really justify. But we did make the mistake when we relaunched Poison Cloud. I did not have like a big sticker, basically, like we do now with the Dice Envy Originals. I didn't say like, this is glow in the dark on the image, so you didn't really find out until you were like already had purchased it and you were in the dark. So we will definitely correct for that the next time UV or glow in the dark dice come across our website. Yeah, Maria just said there was at least one set we didn't find out that was glow in the dark until after we sold out, and I believe that was Little Guys, Wee Lads. We just thought they were like, the effect was beautiful. It was like a pale, you know what glow in the dark dice look like, but it was like a pale swirly white effect. And yeah, we didn't even notice that they were glow in the dark, honestly, until later on, and we were like, oh, we probably should have mentioned that. But anyway, yeah. All right, I think that's it. You guys all got your bonus dice code, so if you place an order between now and the start of next stream, and use the code DETVRULES with an S, not a Z. It's not that kind of rules. Then you'll get, if you have a starter set, a mystery starter set in your cart at the time, then it will be discounted 100% off. So yeah, just a little thank you for tuning in, and a way to give you guys a code for the starter set sale without actually having a code. So I think that's it. Next week we're going to be talking a little bit about magic. I'm very excited for that, and I hope you all will join me. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. Yeah, that's it. I hope you guys didn't fall asleep too hard while I was rambling about dice categories. I hope it was helpful. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, concerns, comments, always reach out. hello@diceenvy.com or rach@diceenvy.com will always get you to me. I will keep you guys posted next Tuesday with a social media blast when we're about to stream. And yeah, we'll have some more goodies to talk about. Everyone, happy rolling, stay safe, enjoy the warmer weather that is slowly but surely encroaching on us all, and I will see you next Tuesday. All right, bye everybody. Where's the stop button?